Welcome to your intermediate practice. We will be working our way into crow pose as well as headstand. You can have 2 blocks ready, and if you want a big, nice, thick bolster, I will be using it towards the end for one restorative pose, but you're welcome to also substitute the bolster for the 2 blocks. We will start on our back. You can bring the feet flat onto the floor, maybe mat distance apart. Drop the knees into touch and make sure the lower back is flat onto the mat. Palms resting by the sides, facing down. And just taking a couple of breaths here. Just taking a moment to arrive into your space. Relaxing the jaw and relaxing the space between the eyebrows. And just taking another couple of deep inhales and exhales, grounding your awareness into the breath and into the body. And then slowly open the eyes, hug the right knee into your chest, straighten the left leg down the mat, keeping the left foot flexed, knee active as you pull the right knee towards the left for a gentle twist. You can open the right arm at 90 degrees, palm up. Take another 2 to 3 breaths, gently putting pressure onto the right knee. And slowly rolling onto your back. Hug the right knee one more time and then switch legs. Right leg extends, left knee comes in. Flexing into the right foot and gently pulling the left knee towards the right. Left elbow can come at 90 degrees. And slowly rolling onto your back once again. Hug the knees and bring them hip distance apart now. Feet flat parallel to the front. We'll do one bridge pose to activate the back body and the glutes a little bit. Palms down. On your next inhale, lifting the pelvis, lifting the middle back and then the upper back. Pushing the hands down, squeezing the glutes to lift the pelvis. For another 4, arms active as well. 3, don't let the knees rotate out. 2, inhale, lift a little higher for 1, and exhale, slowly lowering down. Okay, now you need to use your blocks. So you can bring one block in between the lower legs, so maybe just above the ankles. You can squeeze the block in, and the second block in between the hands, pressing the palms in towards one another. And you're going to, I'm just going to move down a little bit. You're going to inhale, lift the knees at 90 degrees, flex the feet, lift the arms over the head. With your next exhale, drop the heels to touch the floor. See if you can do this without allowing the lower back to arch. So you want to keep the lower back flat and exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale to open. Just tap the heels, lower back flat. Exhale, elbows to knees. Just gonna move down a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We can do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. So you should feel your inner thighs as well as your core active. Inhale. Exhale, and a little bit into the inner arms as well as they push into the blocks. And releasing the blocks here. Rolling up into shoulder stand. You can take a nice, slow, gentle one with your knees bent to start. Bring your elbows close to make sure you're nice and supported. And take a couple of breaths. Relaxing the face. And then if you're feeling open, you can slowly start to extend the legs up to the sky, point the toes, squeeze the glutes. Try to bring the heels over the glutes or over the bum into one line. And on your next exhale, bend your knees as you curl down slowly with control. Hands can come down to support, but you want to still keep momentum so you can roll yourself up into Malasana. So we'll do this 2 more times. So just find your Malasana first. Find length in the spine, shoulders down the back. And here I want you to challenge yourself by pulling the knees away from the elbows. I'm going to just do it forwards as well so you can see my knees are not touching my elbows now. And I'm using my glutes to lift them out. Taking another 2 breaths here. And slowly rolling up. Shoulder stand, squeeze the inner thighs. Make sure your whole leg is active, no jello legs. It'll help you for your headstand later on. And with control, rolling into Malasana. And lifting the knees away from the elbows. Activating the glutes. And one more slow, controlled roll into shoulder stand. Squeezing the whole upper body, heels into one line as the hips, and rolling down. Malasana. 2 more breaths. Good. Bringing the hands down, step the feet back to all 4s, and then point the toes and sit back for a moment as we just open the wrists a little bit just to roll them out. And then you can bring the hands facing towards, or fingers pointing towards the knees. Spread the hands out, gently push the heel of the palm down on both sides simultaneously, but if you want, you can also paddle them out. I like to actually do them at the same time. If the stretch is too intense, you can always move a little bit forwards with your body to make it less intense. Shoulders pulling away from the ears, so you can also deepen the stretch into the neck. And then keeping the hands spread out, turn the palms to face upward so you can put gentle pressure into the hands and open the tops of the wrists. And once again, just shake it out. Coming to all fours again, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll do a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. 3 more. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. 1 more. Now curl your toes under. We'll do 1 more cow stretch. And exhale to neutral spine. Tuck the tailbone a little bit as you pull the navel back. Hover the knees to just create a little bit of activation in the lower abdominal region. If Mula Bandha is accessible, you can pull the pelvic floor muscles up to activate Mula Bandha. Take another in-breath and exhale, pushing back for down dog, bending into 1 leg at a time. And just holding still for another 2 to 3 breaths, sending the sitting bones low. The heels down low and the sitting bones up high. And I'm going to show you a couple of elbow dips from this position. You need to turn the eye or the inside of the elbow to the front so that when they bend into chaturanga arms, like crow pose arms, towards the back. So I'm going to do a couple of elbow dips here. You can raise your gaze to look in between the hands. Turn the eye of the elbow forwards, which means your shoulder blades are going to turn or move down the back. And then slowly dip your elbows down for 1, 2. If you're only able to do 1 elbow at a time, that's also fine in the beginning, and then working it up to moving them simultaneously. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a really nice drill to strengthen the upper arms. And then we'll move into a couple of sun salutations, and I'm going to modify the first one. Inhale, lift the heels, step or hop to the top. Find a flat back halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now grab a block and release the neck, bend the knees. As you hold the block in between the palms, slowly curl up. Block become heavy, neck heavy, and restack the vertebrae one on top of the other. Chin comes up last. Exhale. Bring the block in between the thighs, just above the knees. Squeeze the block. Roll the shoulders up and down the back, and then you can activate the fingers, palms facing forwards or towards the thighs. Now your feet are parallel for mountain pose. Lift the toes, spread them out and ground them back down. Take another 2 breaths here, just feeling the inner thighs pressing into the block. So we're going to do Ashtanga Sun Salutation A 3 times. In the first one I'm going to modify, but we'll do all 3 of them with the block to activate the inner thighs. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, jump back into plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, right elbow down, left elbow down, forearm plank. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Drop the hips, open the chest for Sphinx pose. Shoulders down the back. Inhale here, exhale, elbows flay to the sides. Plant the hands under the shoulders again, tuck the elbows, curl the toes. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And taking another 3 to 4 breaths. Make sure there's no unnecessary tension in the neck. And inhale, lift the heels, hop to the top, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back to rise, palms lifting up. You can bring them to touch. And we'll do the second round. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, jump into plank chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths. And last round, inhale, lift the heels, hop to the top. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, last round, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Vinyasa flow. And meeting in downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Inhale, lift the heels, hop to the top. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. And exhale, hands to the sides, mountain pose. Fully activated. Fully balanced between breath and body. Mindfulness and movement. And slowly open the eyes. Remove the block. And come back to Tadasana. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra up dog. Exhale, down dog. Big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Now inhale, bring the right leg up to the sky. 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the left elbow in plank. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest. Tuck the chin. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Now bring your right hand a little bit to the left as you step the right foot to the outside of your right hand. Rotate the back heel a couple times just to open into the hips and into the ankle. And then slowly bring the back knee down. Leaning into the left, the right hand comes to the right knee. And slowly roll to the outer sole on the right foot as you push the knee away from you. For 3, 2, 1. Bringing the foot in between the hands now. Hop the back foot 45 degrees for pyramid pose. If you need to use blocks under your hands, inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, folding forward over the right leg. Pull the right hip back. For 3, 2, 1. Folding a little bit closer And then inhale, lift your chest. Move all the weight into the right foot, lifting the left. Bend your right knee and bring the hands to the back. Now inhale, shoot yourself up into warrior 3. Lifting the back leg, arms actively pulling towards the back. You can flex or point the back foot. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands come down to the floor or use your blocks if you need them for standing splits. Now lifting the back leg as you drop the chest. We really want to open the hamstring on the right. Release the tension in the neck. And inhale, lift the top leg a little bit higher, activate the glute. Exhale, bring the top foot next to the bottom foot and bend the knees forwards to sit into your toes, sit balance. Now you should be able to hold this very steadily and easily since all of the muscles are activated to hold your balance. And we'll move into Bakasana crow pose from here. Planting the hands, again, eye of the elbow moving forward so you can bend the elbows backwards to create a nice tabletop on the upper arm for the knees to rest on. You can separate your feet as you lift your pelvis high, bending your elbows into crow pose arms or to crow arms. Lifting the heels, leaning forwards, and gently place the knees on the upper arms as you then shift forwards with your body weight into the hands. Now you need to push the mat away to create like a cat stretch upper back almost, because you want to round the back and engage the core. Now point into one foot at a time or lift both feet for another 3, 2, 1. Option to step or jump back into Vinyasa flow. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Taking another 3 to 4 breaths here. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. Actually, no, the right elbow first. Tap, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to the chest. Inhale to lengthen. And tap into the left elbow. Move the left hand into create space. Step the left foot. Circle the back ankle a couple times. And placing the knee down. Bring the left hand to the left knee, open the foot, rolling to the outer sole of the foot just to come into a nice stretch on the right hip, on the left hip. And moving the foot in between the hands now. Hop the back foot at 45 degrees for pyramid pose. Use blocks if you need. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold over the left hip. Pulling the left hip back to square the hips off. And folding a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift your chest, shift your weight into the left leg, lifting the right, bend the left knee, bring the hands to the back and then shoot yourself up and opening into airplane warrior 3. Pointing the top back leg, bring the shoulder blades to touch. For another 3, 2, One, exhale, hands to the blocks or to the floor. Lift the top leg for standing splits. Release the tension in the neck. Inhale, kick the top leg a little bit higher, activating the glute a little bit more. Exhale, bring the top foot next to the bottom foot and sitting down into your toe. Sit balance. You can bring your hands to prayer this time. Shoulders balancing over the hips. And we'll do one more Bakasana play. If you want, you can also keep the feet touching here and just bring your hands down, lifting the hips. Open the knees to then come into Bakasana, because at the end of the day, your feet are also together when you're in Bakasana. So either playing by lifting one toe at a time or coming straight in for another 3, 2, 1. Engaging Mula Bandha will also help you here. Stepping or jumping back through your Vinyasa flow. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Taking another 2 to 3 breaths just to come back to balance and calm. And then slowly bring the knees down. Okay, so I'm going to do one pose to prepare for headstand, low Navasana, because it helps to keep your body piked in a gentle pike, meaning that's the opposite of an arch. This is an arched body, and we want a gentle piked body. And the core needs to be activated for that, so that when you're upside down, it's easier to bring your feet forwards instead of allowing them to just drop back, and it's then very difficult to get them back into the correct alignment. You can definitely prop yourself up against the wall for headstand, and you can take any variation that you're comfortable with. I will quickly demonstrate both variations, and then I will play with the second variation coming into headstand and then Bakasana. So just to make sure that your body is well prepared to go upside down, we'll do low Navasana. Lower back into the floor, palms to the side, lift your feet, hover them, pull the lower belly in, and we'll hold for another 4, 3, shoulder blades lifting as well if you can, 2, 1, exhale. Just take a gentle breather in Shavasana. Now you're welcome to pause the video and do Navasana a couple times to make sure you're nice and fully activated for headstands or any inversion for that matter. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you the headstand variations. So starting on your knees. Again, if you want to prop yourself up against the wall, you're welcome to. You can maybe prop yourself like one hand distance away from the wall for the first variation, so that you're not too tight against the wall, so that there's a little bit of space for you. And then elbows right under the shoulders. And I'm going to interlace my fingers with my pinky finger pulling towards the inside, so I don't squash it when I push my hands down. And instead of dropping the chest, I'm going to really focus on lifting the head away from the floor. Even though I'm going to plant my head, this will create a little bit of lightness in the weight that I'm pushing into the floor. And then opening the hands to create space for my head, I'm going to push my hands or the top of my head into my hands and my hands back into my head to create resistance. So the crown of my head, if I put my palm onto my forehead, where my middle finger ends, that part of the head is what you want straight down into the mat. This is the part that's connecting to the floor. And then the hands curl around the back of the head and you push the head into the hands and the hands back into the head. Shoulder blades are actively pulling away from the ears to create this resistance as well. And that lightness that I spoke about. So, crown of the head down, back of the head into the hands, hands into the head, shoulders pulling down, lifting the knees. You can gently then start to bring the weight of the hips over the shoulders. Now, this is why it's important to have open hamstrings, because then you can gently come into this position quite easily instead of needing to be here. It's quite easy to now bring the weight of my hips over my head with open hamstrings. And then I can gently pull in one toe at a time, maybe both. But you're also welcome to straighten the legs like standing splits and then slowly lift the bottom leg towards the top leg. And now this is why Navasana was important, because now instead of doing this, you're going to much easier, or find it much easier to stay into this position. And over time, or like at least this position, and over time you will start to open the line to stack the joints. Keep the glutes engaged. And slowly coming down, either bending the knees or straightening one leg down at a time. And resting in child's pose. Palms to the side, facing upward so the shoulders can get a break. And slowly curl up. You can either stay resting in child's pose or you can go for another round playing with the forearm variation of headstand. I'm going to show you the tripod headstand. Tri meaning 3, 1, 2, 3 points of contact. So now it's hands and head, same contact point of the head to the floor. Hands now come under the shoulders to start with. Again, you can prop yourself up against the wall if you'd like. And then think of a triangle, so that the head needs to be at the same length in, I don't know what you call it, like the head needs to be the same space away from the hands than the hands are from each other. And then here, and then I'm bringing my elbows under my shoulders, stacking onto my wrists. So don't let the elbows flay to the sides, bring them in. And from this position, now I really have a lot more strength to push into the mat. Instead of here, I have very little strength, plus I'm putting a lot of unnecessary weight or strain on my wrists. So elbows in, head is now taking a lot more weight though, and lifting the knees up. So keep pushing the elbows in, and again the open hamstrings will help you, but you're welcome to tuck one knee in at a time. Maybe go into this position and then both knees tuck and then straighten, or you can straighten one leg at a time and just bring the bottom foot to the top foot. Again, holding that slight pike in the body.
And exhale, either bending the knees down or lowering one straight leg down. Taking rest in child's pose again, palms to the sides, facing up. Slowly curling up. My language is all over the place today. Okay, so we're going to play with Bakasana, crow pose, into headstand. So if you want, let's do a little drill that I can also teach you before we do the whole tipping over. So if you only have a block, you can place a block in front of you, maybe second level, maybe even third level, like you can also play with this height. But I'm going to show you on this height, because from Bakasana you gently want to control the tipping over to place the head down for tripod headstand. So while you're in here, you can slowly start to just move forward and lift and tap and lift. Although that's just going to really help you not be as scared to fall forwards, you can also use a bolster. You can play with now not just bringing the forehead down, but really falling forwards and allowing the crown of the head to come straight down. And then see if you can push yourself back as well. Like, this is a really good drill. If you can control the tipping over and the pulling back, it's a really good drill to play with Bakasana to headstand. And then once you've mastered those drills, then you can actually come from Bakasana and gently tuck the chin, slowly lower yourself down. Okay, so that's not going to happen too slowly, but once you're down, you're good. And then from here, you can just straighten up. Slowly come down again. And pull yourself back up. And then you can always jump back into Vinyasa flow if you'd like. So that's what it looks like. Make sure you give your wrists and your forearms a nice break afterwards. One of my favorite decompression poses is again Malasana, but I'm bringing my forearms between my calves and my thighs, like so. And I'm gently massaging my forearms with my legs. You can also just bring your wrists behind to really open and decompress the wrists a little bit. Good, and we'll do one last restorative pose before Shavasana. So like I said, it's up to you. You can either place your blocks. Let me just take a sip of tea. You can either place your blocks, one on the upper back, one for the head. You're welcome to also just use one block for supported fish pose. And also the second block can be on whatever level you want it to be, or no block at all. Make sure this block is then in between the shoulder blades, like this. I always like to have a second block for my head though. And then you can either straighten the legs or you can bend the knees, soles of the feet to touch for Supta Baddha Konasana. I'm going to use a softer approach with the bolster. gonna have one block for my head. So I can either lie like this, but actually I'm going to prop this bolster up a little bit more. Yeah. Let's try that. Nice. And again, feet straight or bent into Baddha Konasana, it's up to you. Palms to the sides facing up so that the shoulders can rotate open. And just allow the whole body to relax into this pose. Feeling how the blocks are holding you, carrying you, supporting you, and you can simply let go. And you can slowly bring the knees together, roll to the side to remove the props. I'm going to use the bolster under my knees for Shavasana. Taking another deep, full in-breath. Exhale. Make sure the spine is straight. There's space between the shoulder blades so you can gently hug yourself. And then bring the palms facing upwards to the sides of the body, relaxing the whole body into Shavasana.
You can gently start to deepen the breath. Moving the toes and the fingers gently. And hugging the knees to roll to your side. And pushing yourself up to sit.
Just take a moment in an upright position, eyes closed, and sense how you feel in this moment. And bringing our hands into prayer to close this practice with gratitude as we bow our heads. Namaste.